And good Wednesday morning, folks, and welcome to GBN Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and we have a great show for us today. We want to take the time to thank our sponsor, Grand Strand Law Group, with locations in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. You can reach out to them at 843-492-5422. They are your real estate attorneys. They do family law with wills and things like that as well, and we are excited to see them. Let me remind everybody that if you have questions today, just please put them in the comments below, and we'll be glad to try to get those on air for you. And this week we have with us the one and only Stephanie Sebring with Ground Zero right here in Myrtle Beach. And Stephanie's going to be joining us here in just a moment. And so don't forget to put those questions in there and stay tuned. We will see you soon on GBN Live. It's next. All right, folks, here we have in the studio with us Stephanie Sebring. Say thank you so much, Stephanie, for being with us. I know it's been a long time coming. We booked this a while ago, didn't we? Yeah. So, all right, Stephanie, tell us about yourself, where you're from, that kind of stuff, your family.
Okay.
Let's get to know you.
So I am originally from Columbus, Ohio, have been in the Myrtle Beach area for 5 years, and about a year ago started volunteering at Ground Zero. Fell in love with their vision and mission. I have 6 kids of my own, so kids are kind of my jam. Wanted to make sure, 5 girls and a boy.
Wow.
And wanted to make sure that any spare time that I had was used wisely. So volunteering with the kids was a natural fit for me. As I said, originally from the Columbus, Ohio area, and just love it here. And my poor mother, she always asks, when are you coming home? I'm like, when you get a notion, I'll come back to Ohio.
There you go. I believe it was Terry last week from Ohio, right? I don't know if you watched the show and heard that. Well, I know you watched the show because you put in some comments. But when I was with the fire department at one time, we had over 50% of our paramedics were from Ohio. So I don't know how
we have inundated the Myrtle Beach region, along with New York and Pennsylvania
and Jersey. They're coming in too. So tell us about this Ground Zero. What is it? How did it get started? That kind of stuff.
So it actually started 24 years ago in the basement of Kimberly and Scott Pacer, who Scott is our president. They have been working with this vision and mission that was given to Scott as a middle school student for all of these years. So next year we will be celebrating our 25th year. Ground Zero is a place where every teenager can go, belong, and grow. And our GBNers have heard me say that a lot, but that's an effective tagline. So we, through life-changing experiences and nurturing relationships with the kids, try to transform their futures and cultivate their faith and give them hope.
Oh, that's cool. We already have our first comment. Do you know a girl named Brooke?
That would be one of my.
She says, that's my mom. Hi, Brooke. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate that. So tell us about this GZI that happens on Wednesday nights.
So GZ is obviously for Ground Zero.
GZ, that's how you say it.
Yep,
okay.
GZ. And the letter I in all of our efforts is impact. So that's what we stand for, is making an impact in the lives of teenagers.
Well, that's pretty cool. You know, I'm not an iPhone guy.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, our producer Ashley gives me a hard time. She even posts things on. I'm not the eye this, eye that kind of guy, or whatever.
We need to get you caught up.
Maybe so, but there's another thing that is iGrow. Tell us about that.
So iGrow is a deeper dive from GZI. So Todd, we've got a 3-part strategy. GZI is our reach portion of that strategy. We want to reach out to these kids. They are in middle school and high school, and that is the only requirement. We are not affiliated with any church or denomination, so we don't require that anyone come from a church. We just want them to be in middle school and high school. So we reach out to them. We provide entertainment. Dennis Hubble with Hubble Entertainment is our DJ on Wednesday nights. So the kids come in at 6:30. We give them free food, free drink. They have a lot of fun with their friends. You've been in the building. You know what's there. There's every electronic game you could imagine. We've got ping pong, shuffleboard, foosball. So we also sit them down at the end of the evening for about a 15-minute video that talks about relevant topics that teenagers deal with in high school and middle school and what the Bible has to say about it. So that's GZI. And when we move to iGrow, that's on Monday night. That's what we consider to be a deeper dive. So the second part of our strategy is equip. So we reach them with the fun, the excitement, and then we equip them to share their faith with other teenagers. So that tends to be more of a Bible study, and we don't necessarily always use the Bible for the study. We use other curriculum and things that are going to impact their lives.
Well, I know it's very high energy on Wednesday nights.
It is. It's fun.
Probably had some neighbors to complain at some point. I don't know.
If we had neighbors, yes.
Look, you've got another daughter. I guess Victoria is in here too. She said that's my mom too. So hi, Victoria.
They're all here.
There you go. So that's awesome. Thanks for joining us, Victoria. So it's high energy and whatnot. I have not been on Wednesday night yet, but I do know that, like you said, the facility is just crazy. It used to be the Rivoli Theater in Myrtle Beach. So it's right behind the former Pavilion parking deck, right there on, what is it, 912? No,
904.
904. I was close. Chester Street. 904 Chester Street. So that's cool. And Julie, thanks for watching us. Oh, look. She says awesome, Victoria. Yep. So thanks for joining us there, Julie, as well. But yeah, it's a wide open space, has a beautiful stage, fairly new. It's not original. I don't believe the electronic board in the back. Isn't that fairly
what
new?
We call our video wall?
Video wall. Yes,
yeah.
Yes. That is so cool, guys.
Yeah.
I've actually seen it and awesome. They have a great live electronics and lighting show and everything else. It's a great place for the kids to get involved there. So is there, I'm throwing you a wild question here. Are there any type of mission trips or mission things that the kids can do outside of the Ground Zero? Like things in the community?
It's interesting that you talk about that, because that is actually the third part of our strategy is the send. So we do offer the kids opportunities inside the building that they wouldn't otherwise have access to. So AV, sound, light, all that production equipment that we do have. We are a concert venue.
Yes.
So there is a lot that they can learn there. And we do have what we call student leaders that have stepped up. They've joined iGrow. They've become more involved in the spiritual aspect of what we do. And they are given opportunities to run all of that equipment during those outreach events. So you'll see students in the production booth at our Wednesday night outreach.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And they're part of the worship team, right? Don't they? Or will you just play?
Well, and that's okay.
Fill me in.
So that's okay. We don't have a traditional worship team because we're not a church.
Right.
But what we do is we have a lot of high energy music. So we've had concerts. In November, we had Jordan Felice here, and we're working on a concert lineup for the next
That's
school
awesome.
year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, guys, get those questions in there. We see a lot of people joining us here on air. I see Skylar in here. Thanks, Skylar, for joining us as well. And if get those questions in, we'll be glad to answer those online live here on air on your favorite social media platform. But stick around. We're going to come back right after this break. And when we do, and I apologize, I'm actually producing the show today too, but so I'm doing a couple things looking away from the screen, but that's okay. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hi, I'm Justice Ann. I've been a canine liaison at Grand Strand Law Group for, 30 years? What's that? You don't believe me? I meant 30 dog years, of course. First rule of lawyering, read the fine print. Anywho, my humans at Grand Strand Law Group have a combined 20 years experience. I know, not as much as me, but that's in people years. So yeah, still pretty impressive. Real estate, estate planning, or probate, you need GSLG.
Grand Strand Law Group. Trust us, we have a dog.
Great Business Networking grew out of the idea that by creating lasting friendships within the community, we can make the community even better.
I was looking to network with professionals and to be able to refer my clients to somebody that I trust.
Well, it's really important to trust the members of the group because we really generate quality referrals, and to know somebody, be friends with them, and get that qualified referral is the key to success.
It is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking, and that is important to me. I come to the meetings, I have fun, I make great connections, and I help grow my business.
GBN, these are some of the best professionals in the market, and having that resource available to me, that's priceless.
Well, GBN is a network of business professionals that build long-lasting friendships that will not only grow my business, will grow yours as well. That's what referral marketing is all about.
GBN really is the most important marketing for your business. Check us out today. All right, guys, welcome back to GBN Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and today we have with us Stephanie Sebring with Ground Zero here in Myrtle Beach. And I want to go ahead and tell everyone that if you type in your, I already see there's a couple that have put them in there, but if you guys type in the hashtag GBN Rocks into your comments, you only need them to do them once, and we will enter you into our drawing at the end. So as long as we have Dancing Debbie up down here in the corner, then you can type that in, and then we will come back to the contest here in just a minute. We do have a comment here from Carly Harrington. Thanks for joining us, Carly. She's joining us from Facebook, and she says, what time of the day is GZ? I said that right? GZI. Yeah, GZI every week. Good question, Carly. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. It is Wednesday evenings from 6:30 until 8:30 every single week.
All right, Wednesday evening, 6:30 to 8:30.
8:30.
2 hours every Wednesday, right there at Ground Zero. All right, so we talked about the leadership of the kids and stuff, but with all these middle school and high school students, I'm sure that you need some adult supervision. So how do we get involved as adults?
Adult supervision?
Maybe you need, the kids maybe need to do the
I
adults.
thought you meant the adults need supervision. That
we might. I don't know. But so how do they get involved?
So we have an established group of volunteers. We have our belief statement, and it is on our website. And we ask every person who is interested in volunteering to first read our statement of beliefs, because when we bring in volunteers, we love that people love kids, but we also want them to love our vision and our mission. And as long as they're in alignment with what we believe, we spend time developing volunteers. We put them through an orientation. We share with them what the night involves, where they may volunteer. And sometimes our volunteers come in and they try out a couple different locations, meaning they could volunteer in our coffee shop. They could volunteer up in our cafeteria, which is called Top Notch. They could volunteer with me back in stage left, which is our merch store. So there are lots of opportunities for volunteers. And then as we get closer to event season, there will be event volunteers that we'll need. So they just go to mygroundzero.com and click Get Involved.
There you go. I put it up right there.
Thank you.
Right in front of Ground or Dancing Debbie there. So we'll take that off for a moment.
While she's cute, I think we need to get like moving Michelle. Or,
I know we need something with
Michelle.
With Michelle. Michelle, are you out there? We need you in the studio, please. We do have a comment here from Michael Kimmerer, who is with our Myrtle Beach chapter, and he says, "Love your passion, Stephanie." We appreciate that. And then also Julie has a comment. She said, "I love the diversity of volunteer opportunities you offer to the community." Thank you, Julie. She's from down in the Somerville area. So thank you very much there as well, Julie. So we talked about GZI on Wednesday nights. What is the message, or the what's the word I'm looking for?
The message.
All right. Yeah. What series? That's what I guess.
Okay.
Are we in right now?
So we are presenting our pre-Easter series called Prism. And it's been very interesting to me as I go through and listen to these videos, because if you think of a traditional prism, it's nothing more than just a boring piece of glass, right? But you shine light on a prism in different areas or different ways or different amounts of light, and you see something different. The light reflects differently. So what we're trying to share with the kids is that it matters how you see things, both in your personal life and in your spiritual life. So if we see a certain person only for what is on the surface, sometimes it can make it difficult to relate to or have a conversation or eventually even connect to that person. And I'll get off topic just slightly. That's one of the reasons why I love GBN, because there are layers for GBN, which I'll talk about later. But the Prism series is really the 4 weeks leading up to Easter, and talking about how we can change the way we view things if we'll just change the light or the direction a little bit.
It's almost like peeling back the layers of an onion.
It is very much
you,
like that.
Once you learn, because people are defensive. They have a wall up to an extent all the time.
But that's based on their previous experience.
Sure. Yeah. And that's what you got to get
and
under.
they're not wrong for that.
No,
it's just they've had an experience with one individual, one company, one whatever.
My son and I were talking about that yesterday. Yeah, you're right, with the place that he was working.
Yeah.
So I know before the break we talked about this eye stuff. I'm not an iPhone guy, sorry. But talk to me about the eye leader for the kids. So what do they need to get involved? And specifically, if you have a story about how one of these youth leaders have developed over the time that you've witnessed that for them.
Okay, so eye leader actually is referring to a leadership director position that we have available. It is a ministry position. So if someone wants to come in and fill that position, they're responsible for raising their own support. It's what a lot of people don't realize about some of the positions at Ground Zero. Some are on payroll, some are ministry where they are raising their own support. And the eye leader would be that position.
Okay.
They would be responsible for student interaction and leading the curriculum and doing those types of things. Our student leaders, however, are students that are in leadership positions. So there's sometimes some confusion with that.
So we can call them the I-mini leaders. How you like that?
You could call them that. We call them student leaders, but
student. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But no, these are the adults that are focused on, connecting with the students on a daily basis, making sure that we pour into their lives as much as possible. When you're looking through that prism, one of the things that people see is, oh, well, they're popular, so they must have all kinds of friends and they never feel alone. In the time that we are living in right now, it's important to understand there are fundamental similarities to all of us. We all feel alone. We all feel isolated. We all get lonely. And I think it's really important. We just need to be kind to one another.
I agree 100%. And that's something that was a conversation I had with someone the other day. Michelle's in here. I just saw her put the hashtag GBN rocks. I'm shocked that she doesn't have a comment yet, Michelle. But we were talking about this the other day, and the true person is what happens behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. When they're by themselves, nobody is seeing them, and that's where that true emotion, that is where that true personality is, and everything else. Because everybody, to some extent, puts on a different face in public.
Yes. And it's necessary to do that.
It is. I agree. Yeah. I agree with you. But it's funny how how do you peel those layers of onions that we were talking about back to get to where that person is? And I'm sure you see that with kids all the time.
Absolutely. And what Ground Zero does is we pour time and consistent nurturing of our relationship into those kids. So a lot of them just want to know you're going to be there no matter what.
Well, and that's so many of them don't have that. And if I'm not mistaken, and maybe I dreamt it, but I thought you told me at one point that you even had some kids that walk there from around the community that their parents either don't have the means to get them there, don't care if they go or not, because that's the life that they're in. But these kids come in and it just makes a huge difference that they feel wanted, needed, and feel like they belong.
And they feel cared about. Yeah. And I think sometimes even in what we would call well-established or good homes, sometimes we as parents forget to let our kids know how much we care about them because we're busy with life.
That's exactly
so this is a place for all middle school and high schoolers to just come kind of decompress from their school stress. I forgot how hard it was.
I don't think it was as hard when we were in school.
Well, it's rough.
It is now.
They need
a
place that's safe where they can go and just enjoy and be a kid, just have fun and know that adults really genuinely care about them.
That's true. All right, guys, that means it's time for rapid fire. So, Stephanie, we have some questions here for you. Just basically one-word answers. I know you've been watching the show, so maybe I need to change these up every once in a while or something so you're not too prepared. But anyway, your first job.
Kewpie Hamburgers when I was 16.
Kewpie?
Yep.
Never heard of that.
Oh,
is it just like a little hamburger joint?
It's not. Well, maybe it is little. It was like a diner feel, but it is still something, and I can speak for every person who's ever left that area. That is a go-to stop before you go back wherever you go.
I guess it's kind of like Wawa's up in the Northeast that everybody's wanting them here. It's all over Facebook for some reason. Night owl or early bird?
Early bird, 100%.
Yeah. Dog or cat person? I know we talked about this before the show, but
yeah, judge me if you will. Neither. I had my heart broken by a dog. I'll never own another animal again. So
They're like we said, they're worse than kids. You can't take them with you everywhere. So yeah, dark or milk chocolate?
Dark.
Yeah. Favorite color?
Tiffany blue.
Ooh. I think Michelle's was green.
Is that still under debate?
Yeah.
That's been an ongoing conversation.
I know. I don't know.
We need to go back and listen to that.
We do. Favorite word or phrase?
Be the change you want to see.
Ooh, I like that. Favorite movie?
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, that's
Huge
one of my
Audrey
favorites
Hepburn
too. Yeah.
fan.
Favorite song?
Anything by Def Leppard.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You've been hanging out with Michelle too long. Favorite vacation spot?
Oh, you mean other than where I live?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have one. I have all these kids and never really took a ton of vacations except for when I was younger with my parents. But my dream, can I do my dream vacation
Sure,
spot?
absolutely.
Austria.
Ooh, there you go. Michelle says her favorite color is purple. I'm just giving you a hard time because I wore your lavender, or I think you called it lilac shirt that day.
I think she needs to come back on the show and dance her way into from green to purple.
She says, "Come on, man," and then she says, "Pour some sugar on me."
Yeah, that is actually my number one Def Leppard song.
There you go. I knew that Michelle would know some.
Yeah.
And then the favorite is, what's your favorite mobile app? Not GBN, but something that you use. You know, is it a song app or something that you use regularly?
I'm super boring because the weather's really important to me.
Ah.
So the Weather Channel app is something that I check multiple times a day.
I don't check it multiple times a day, but I do have it regularly. So I
Okay.
look at that as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, there is your rapid fire. So let's get in and dig into your fundraiser that's coming up. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It is the Dragon Boat races held in Market Common. So talk to us about those and just let us know anything you want us to know about it.
You need to be there. If you're not already registered, you're super late. So let's get that taken care of. No, so April 30th from 8 to 4 at Grand Park in Market Common, we are finally, after 2 years of not having it and it being gone for 3 years, we are hosting the Dragon Boat Festival. So we mentioned earlier that we're not affiliated with any church or denomination. So we do apply for and receive some grants, but the majority of our funding in our general ministry budget comes from donors.
Sure.
We have the 14th annual. So this is an extremely well-established festival happening, and it funds our ministry budget. So what's a dragon boat? It is a boat. You do not have to make one. We have a company that provides all the boats. What you do is you sign up as a captain and you invite 20 of your closest friends or strongest friends or whatever the case may be to join you on a boat. And as this is a fundraiser, you're responsible for raising just $200 a person, Todd. Yeah. We spend that a month in Starbucks. I bet my daughter...
I don't.
Oh.
I don't do Starbucks. Sorry, but no.
Okay.
$8 coffee is that's just not me.
So that money goes into our outreach so that we can reach these kids and transform our community by putting better kids out there. But we have 46 teams registered right now. I'd love to have 60. I want to thank GBN for having a team. That is awesome. You guys are going to have so much fun. And we're looking to have an exciting captain's dinner on Thursday, but that does not mean that the teams cannot still register. We welcome you to register, and it's a fun time of competition. It is the largest festival, according to the city, that takes place annually at Market Common. There are between 7,000 and 10,000 folks pre-COVID that had attended this event. So we have a family fun zone. We have a lot of sponsors. So Tidelands Health is sponsoring our finish line. Monarch Roofing is sponsoring our loading dock, and there are many, many other sponsors. Our platinum sponsor this year is Dependable Services Plumbing and Air.
Oh, good.
So they are our big sponsor this year. So we want to thank them as well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we've got several more comments in here. Michelle said she wanted to do a colored chains dance.
Yes. I mentioned she'd have to get back on and go
from
green
right?
to purple.
I know. We'll have to see what
we just want you to take Dancing Debbie's place.
Maybe you need a rainbow shirt, and we can just call it that way. So Dragon Boat, I've been before. That's a great event, and it does bring a lot of people. You can even sponsor without having to enter in the boat, right?
You can.
And when's the deadline for getting in the boat? Because I know the company that you get them from, they're not going to bring 20 extra boats.
Well, no, they only bring 4.
Oh, they
So
only brings 4. So you
yeah.
can, I got
So
you.
you
Okay.
can register a team clear up until the day of the race.
Oh, well,
We'd
there
rather
you
you not do that.
No, no.
Michelle will tell you we have to turn in our t-shirt order this week.
It
So
was probably last week, wasn't it, Michelle?
it's actually the week after.
Oh,
But I'm
is that what
always
you
trying to get
there
it
you go.
in
Get it
before
in early. So
because I respect my fellow GBNer.
that's right.
But anyway,
She has the.
we
What is that?
we do want
Oh,
to
it's
make
dancing.
sure, yeah, we do want to make sure that people can get the t-shirts. And you register by going to gzdragonboat.com.
Look at that. Rachel just asked the question. How do you register? Well, there you go. It's gzdragonboat.gz. Just
Yep.
gzdragonboat.com.
For ground zero,
Yep, there you go.
gzdragonboat.com.
There you go. So, awesome. Well, I tell you what, let's wrap this up. You mentioned GBN a couple times. Guys, you know, we're all about a networking organization here. We highlight our members each week in the show. So tell us about GBN, what it means to you in your own words, and why it's so important to network, not just with GBN, but any organization.
Well, I would actually take what you said and disagree a little bit. I think that it's very important to network, but not just any organization. What makes GBN different is that we were talking earlier about that prism effect. If you look at business people that you deal with in your day to day, you are literally by design only seeing one layer of that onion. GBN pulls those layers back because we are friends first, business second. That does not mean that we are not business, because our chapter has a lot of referrals, a lot of closed business. I think last report we had over $1 million in closed business, and we just started in July. So please rest assured, this is about business. But what makes that closed business dollar amount so high is because in GBN, you hold a seat for a particular industry. But as you become friends with one another, you shine that light on that prism different ways. You begin to see, oh, she also does this, or she also knows someone who does that. Without that element of friendship or being more familiar than just on a business level and sticking to a professional relationship, all that's missing. So yes, people get bored with networking groups. They don't get together after hours. They lose interest, or if one particular person isn't getting any referrals, they throw their hands up. In GBN, we mitigate all of that. We have after hours events. We do one-to-manys because we respect each other's times. We know you can't get to everybody. So instead of a one-to-one, let's 4 or 5 people go out to lunch. And I'll tell you, those have probably produced the most business because of that round table talking.
It is,
yeah.
And they can also get into different projects that they can work on together, which is what I like with that.
And Terry and I are doing a big one with Mike right now, and it may actually end up being more people.
Yeah, well, I hope so. And thank you for saying that about GBN. You know, the whole philosophy of friends first, business second. We put it right here on the wall behind us to remind us every week as well. But it truly is. You know, we have well over 100 members in the Myrtle Beach market. We have about 70 some members down in the maybe 80 now in the Charleston market. We continue to grow. If you're interested and you're watching and you're not part of GBN, you need to be. But going back to the $1 million mark, we have 5 chapters now that has hit over $1 million in the Myrtle Beach market. And that's under a year. We just started in this market last May. And so in not even 11 months, we've all hit $1 million, which is awesome. And it's not always about the money. It's about getting those resources out there, because I know that we've even had members that have donated their time and money and efforts to helping out other members that didn't even charge them. So it's that networking that definitely makes a difference. So,
and when you are doing professional networking, it's help that you're asking for.
Absolutely.
If you break it down to brass tacks, that's what you're asking for.
Michelle says, yes, the friendships are incredible. And they are, Michelle. Thank you for joining us there as well. Well, guys, thank you for joining us this week. Stephanie, you've been awesome.
Thanks.
See, Michelle's on my head there. But if you want to reach out, once again, the address is mygroundzero.com online, or you can contact their location at 843-945-9440. All right. Before we get going here, it is time to take down Dancing Debbie. If I can find her here. Again, I'm doing the show this morning, so I apologize about that. And you know what? I actually forgot to do something, so bear with me just a moment. I did not put in the see, this is what happens when our producer is not here.
That's okay. You're
I
just
forgot to
doing
do
what
it.
you always do. You do it all.
Yeah, well, it seems like it. That is for sure. But give me just a minute, and we will get the show up here, or the contest. Make sure you put in that GBN Rocks, because we're getting ready to draw here in just a moment. So let me go back over to here, and let's see if we can share my screen. All kinds of stuff, but you gotta love technology. So here we go. It's coming in. Oh, Alexa Pickford.
Alexa.
Congratulations, Alexa. I will get with you shortly, and we will give you that gift, which is a $25 gift card to Walk-Ons right in Carolina Forest. So sorry about that little delay there. Gotta love technology. But anyway, thanks again for joining us, Stephanie. Next week, we have with us Krista Votal, who is with Clear Mortgage, and she is down in our West Ashley chapter down in Charleston area. And so we will have her on next week. And guys, remember, if it is Wednesday, it is GBN Live. Y'all have a great week.